I was a one-man show, closet warrior, as we say, and Rich gave me the courage to realize that I had a real business. And from there, I was able to go not from just a 7-figure business, but to an 8-figure business within the next 2 years.
I went from making a 5-figure income to a 7-figure income.
My blog went from $5,000 a month to $15,000 a month and then $20,000 a month. I believe we went from 1.3 million to 2.4 million within a year.
We were fairly new in the business of doing internet marketing, and we did not know what we did not know.
The recession had just hit. I had lost half my business. I just wasn't sure what to do at that point.
The best way I could explain it would be if you had a dumpster fire and you were just pouring more gas on the dumpster fire.
Grabbing everything I could because I wanted to make money, but then at the end of the day, it wasn't serving my business.
You individually need to do more. That's what I thought. I thought success was based on how hard you work, how many hours you work.
Everybody else was just coming up with the tricks and the hacks. Here was this guy who brought not just practical digital online marketing wisdom, but he brought practical business with him.
Everybody I know is like, you need to know Rich. I'm like, Rich who? I don't know Rich. Rich who?
This is the guru's guru. This dude teaches all the people that we're all reading from.
You got to go to the guru to the gurus.
This guy is the guru to the gurus.
When you get inside kind of the inner circles, everybody knows who Rich is.
Rich was the first person who really explained online marketing in a way that I really could understand and apply.
It was like the light came on in a dark room and I saw, there's a whole layer to running a business I'd never thought about.
Since the time that I started working with them, I've generated, millions and millions of dollars in revenue.
More money started coming in. Then all of a sudden I'm producing products and coaching programs and building an audience that needs what I am good at.
And I'm getting $5,000 for my 12-week program. I'm getting $2,000 for my 4-week program.
But I want to say this, that it's been about more than just the money. I feel like in many ways, he gave me my life back.
Besides being a guy who thinks strategically and thinks in terms of solution, Rich is a good guy.
And it's really refreshing to have somebody with his caliber of knowledge who you can tell really cares.
It was freedom. That's the easiest way I could put it. It was freedom.
A sense of freedom, a sense of hope and future, where I could see a path to get to where I wanted to go that I wasn't going to get to on my own.
Someone like Rich can really put worth in you that you're not seeing.
Confidence. In business, so much of our success depends on our own internal confidence.
Having the confidence and knowing the fundamentals and understanding how the business moves.
He works with people who are having your same problem. So he's able to show me someone like me. It's not just someone talking about hypotheticals. These are tried tactics that he's done year in, year out.
I'm glad he's back around, helping people.
I'm excited he's coming out of retirement for this. That's a big deal.
I can certainly recommend it, without hesitation. I know that anything that comes out from Rich Shepard is going to be top quality.
Best coach, best mentor of my life.
His main concern is making sure that he's delivering more than he promises in every project that he works on.
It had a huge impact on my business, so I'm excited for all the people who will benefit from it this go around. I would just say do it before he goes back into the vault.
I think that you will get just some immense value from working with him.
Even better than he seems, which is rare on the internet.
Hello. Welcome everyone to another live stream. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me just go to the comments. Yep, I see you guys. Let me know if you see and hear me. Wow, I look shiny, don't I? Should be using those things that people gave me to make me less shiny. I don't even know where I put them. Oh well. So today we're going to talk about how to start leveraging some of these tools of artificial intelligence that have kind of come onto the scenes more recently. I know John Benson has been working on his for quite some time, but there are different technologies that have come out as it relates to AI. And one of the companies that's really taken the AI writing space by storm, you could say, is Conversation.ai. And so we're going to have the CEO of Conversation.ai join us, and he's going to share a bunch of stuff. And I thought it'd be really cool to kind of have him help us potentially write a few things and kind of do a demo of sorts. And so I'm curious, first of all, let me know who's watching and where you're watching from. As always, I love to make this as much of a dialogue and less of a monologue as possible. And so along those lines, if you can let me know where you're watching from, I would greatly appreciate it. And this way I can put you on screen and say hello to you. And then in addition to that, once we get that out of the way, once you've done that, if you've played around with Conversion AI or not, let me know. And if you have or haven't, if you'd like to have the CEO or potentially even Sean Vossler, because he might jump on too, what would you like to get more help having written? Or is it emails? Is it video descriptions? Is it blog posts? Is it video scripts, etc.? Just really curious what you would like us to create during this stream. And while you guys are telling me that, I'm going to give CJ my phone for a second so he can text Sean Vossler, because Sean just went out for lunch, and just let him know that, like, if he can, if you know, he said he's going out to lunch, but I would love him to jump on when he gets back from lunch, if that's possible. And yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, I'm gonna, to be just upfront about this, I'm blown away by Conversion AI. I have not used it that much. What I've used it for so far is when I'm sitting down and I got to do a live stream and I'm not sure, like, I have the topic like flow or something like that, but I don't know what to say about it. And so I'll type in something in Conversion AI and it will generate a bunch of language for me. And then from there, I'll be able to pick and pull the idea out and have it help me write it pretty quickly. But I've been using it more for the idea side, much more so than that much writing. I find that for me, a lot of times I get stuck on the idea side. Then once I have the idea, sometimes I'm getting those first sentences down can also be problematic. So it is raining like crazy here in Delray Beach. And yesterday, Memorial Day, I'm always pressing Kim to exercise more. I want her to be more active with me. And so we went for a 30,000 step walk. I think it was 13 miles. And if you're wondering why I am tan, that would be it, because I actually got burnt on the back. And so anyway, exciting that week that we have going on this week. It just, we released a new Steal Our Winners issue, and been busy doing a bunch of interviews, and just finished one right before I got on here with Mikhail Dia from Funnelytics. And he gave me a great, literally great kind of process workflow for Facebook group, how to have it really power your business. And I'm excited for us to do it. In fact, when CJ came back up, I said, make sure that we watch that this week, go over it, because I want to make sure that we actually start doing it. So I know that makes no sense right now, but you will in 30 days from now when that issue comes out. So John Madison is in the house on YouTube. Thank you, John. Good to see you. Hello to you too. And if you're watching on if you're watching on YouTube, please, smash the subscribe button, comment, and let me know where you're watching from. And then if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do. Vincenzo in the house. Good to see you, Vincenzo. Priya in Israel. I got your message, Priya, about Brazil. I just haven't had a chance yet to take any action. Francisco, good to see you on YouTube. And Hanin Alay, hello to you too. And Mina MQ, hey, Mina. And Jerry says, sound is good. Thank you, Jerry. Hello, everyone. All is A-okay. Looking sharp. Thank you, Ryan. Always great topics. Thanks, Mark. What's up, MEJ? Sound is good. Cool. Hi. You know what? I just want to make sure that actually that we have the right sound here, because I know I was playing with it the other day. I want to make sure that we have the right audio. Actually, it should be crisp. Let's put that. That would be better. And hopefully you guys can still hear me. You should be able to, and there won't be any outside noise. Richard Kevin, how's it going, my man? And London, England. And amazing. Can't wait to see. Cool. Hey, Rich. Hey, Forrest. Andrew from New Jersey is here. Cool, Andrew. And Jose in Orlando. And Kevin in Tampa, Florida. Hey, Kevin. And Matt, the robot name. Giancarlo. Steve in Los Angeles and Joe in Chicago. Good to see you. Happy Trader is in Germany and Richard is in Orlando, Florida. Cool. And Abe is in New York. Where are you in New York, Abe? Are you in Manhattan or upstate? And John Madison is in Matt Tinson is in Vancouver. And Canada's far behind us as far as opening up. I was just, Mikhail over at Funalytics is in Canada, still locked down. Can't see through Facebook. Oh, really? Why can't you see through Facebook? That's interesting. Jerry in Memphis, Tennessee, welcome. And Remy from Quebec, welcome. And Mina from Paris, welcome. Is this, I had a client in Paris years and years ago. I don't know if it was Mina though. Francisco in Portugal, good to see you. Elena Demina. Hi, Rich. Elena here from Madrid, Spain. Wow. I am actually thinking about going to Barcelona in August, possibly. Never been to Spain. No, haven't. Cool. What's up, Rich? Watching from Chicago. Scott, nice to see you. Jose in Manhattan. Where in Manhattan? I spent most of my time in Chelsea, and then we have an apartment on the Upper East Side these days. And Bethany in Atlanta. Good to see you, Bethany. And Philippe in Montreal, Canada. And Rachi, no, I haven't played around yet with Conversation.ai. Interesting. I don't think very many people have. I would have thought more would have. Yes, I have subscribed to Conversation.ai. Cool. Landing pages. Okay. I've used almost all of them. Conversation.ai was one of my favorites. Cool. Sin City here, Las Vegas, Nevada. Landing pages. Okay. I'm watching from Toronto. Exciting topic. Hey, Amit. Good to see you. And Joe says emails and video scripts. Okay. So we have landing pages and emails and video scripts. So I'm just writing these down. If I had a pen that worked. Landing pages. Another one. There we go. Landing pages and emails and video scripts. Cool. How was everyone's Memorial Day if you're in the States? Headlines, Facebook, body copy, and sales copy. Okay, so we got lots there. Headlines, Facebook, body copy. Body copy. What do you mean by Facebook body copy? You just mean like a post? Is that what you mean? Ads, website, social media posts. Hi from Idaho. Hello, Kimberly. Good to see you. And Rachi. I've used Copy Pro and Funnel Scripts. Oh, well, then you're going to be amazed, Rachi. Video and webinar scripts. Webinar script is kind of pretty hefty. Hey, Rich, went by Delray and had a great brunch on Sunday. Family loved it. Very cool. Very cool. Really good news from someone like myself who gets really lazy sometimes. Bad news for copywriters, though. AI will push them out of the game, and they are highly paid. I don't know how quickly that's going to happen. I love what I've tried in Conversation.ai. Totally amazing. Hey, Felicia, good to see you. Brett, I'm in Austin, Texas. I've been testing and using all of the GPT-3 writers and absolutely love Conversation.ai with his affiliate code in it. Facebook content post, engagement post, persuasive copy. Hi, Rich, tuning in from Tampa. Hey, Jason. Hey, Facebook user. Hey, Hashin. It is a great day, except it's raining out. It's okay. Great stuff, Rich. We haven't done anything yet. Hong Kong. That's cool. Haiti. Good to see you, Verlins. Upstate. Got it. Youngstown, Ohio. Nice. I'll be in Cleveland, Ohio in a week from now. JP from North Pole and Remy from Junkyard, both Canadian. Very cool. Hey, Brian from PSL. Hello, Brian. London, England. can see on Facebook here in Baltimore. Very cool. LinkedIn is great. Cool. Abe from Austin, Texas. Good to see you, Abe. And Scott from good afternoon to you. And from the Netherlands, a Facebook user. Landing pages too, says Priya. Inwood, Manhattan Upper West Side. Oh, very cool. Long form copy and ebooks. Okay. Emails and video scripts. Christy in Georgia. Hey, Christy. And hey, Stephen. VSLs. Okay. Mine was boring. Or Oring. Hey, Rich, I love Jarvis and have so far used him mostly for ideas and getting through tough writing spots. So that's how I've kind of been using it as well, Sarah. So interesting to see what Dave has to say. Boring. Am I boring? Holiday was great. Too quick to pass. I hear you. Facebook ads. Hi from Dubai. Well, hello, Ubdallah. And ad copy and social posts. Hi from Barcelona. I might be heading your way. So far, only experienced nicheness, and I love it. Nicheness. Haven't heard about them. I've heard of Jarvis earlier. Eager to learn how it can help me write copy. Copy Pro versus Jarvis. Which one is better? They're different for different things, I would say. And Steph. Hey, Rich. Hey, Steph. Love Jarvis too. Hoping to pick up some tactics on how to better use. Me too. And so hopefully either... Telstra. Oh, never mind. That's going to be too low. All right. Let's see here. All right. So I think we've got a good kind of smorgasbord of what it is that you guys would like help with as far as, you know, pretty much almost all of it. And I don't know if you guys have seen this. So let me kind of, as we're talking here, I'm going to pull up another page, put it on my other desktop here. And go to Conversation.ai so I can share the page. Might help if I use the right keyboard. Conversation.ai. Logged in. And there we go. All right. So, oh, wow. They've changed around the community a little bit, I can see here. And let me show you what it looks like on the inside here. So as you can see here, this is the dashboard for Conversion AI. And we're just playing around with it. So as you can see, like did 1,000 words on the 27th and 28th, and then started playing around with it again this morning. Long form language options. Now you can set the document language when creating a new document. Cool. Poll questions and multiple choice answer template. Engage your community and get to know them on a deeper level. Create questions. I've seen that. So this is the general like when you log in, and then these are the templates, right? You have, or what it can do, what the software at this point can do. And so we have the long form assistant, which lets you help write long form blog posts, articles, emails, story scripts. We have the AIDA framework. I'm sure we'll probably look at that, right? Content improver, product descriptions, creative story, blog post conclusion paragraph, blog post intro, blog post outline, blog post topic ideas, right? Explain it to a child, sentence expander, Facebook ad headlines, Facebook ad primary. As you can see, there's a lot here of what this thing can do. And as you can see, there are a ridiculous number of options. And in general, I'm just going to text Sean because I actually wanted him to get on sooner rather than later. Hop on sooner rather than later, let me know and I'll get you a link. Cool. So as you can see, there's a lot. Let me kind of get rid of the screen for a second and go back to me and we'll talk. Cool. So let's see what else you guys had to say. I would like to know what the difference is between Copy Pro and Conversion AI. I'm on the fence with either one of them. They're very different. One is taking copy that's been proven to do well and really kind of basing everything that it creates on those few things, whereas GPT-3 is a newer form of AI. It requires a lot less programming, et cetera. They've had Jarvis, which is the name of the apps, like to make it more human-like, I guess. And they've trained it by having it read about 10% of the internet. And from there, as you can see, like with a pro account, at least you can do a ridiculous amount, not just sales copy, but also blog posts and video descriptions and anything and everything, an ebook, etc. Love Jarvis. I'm actually using Copy AI right now, but I've had my eye on Conversion AI, so I am very interested in how they compare. Cool. Jennifer Gallagher, demo with Conversion AI. Come check it out if you have the time. Cool. So, Dave, the CEO, is going to be joining us at 2:30. So in about another 8 minutes or so, he'll be joining us. And pretty cool stuff, though. And I'm just kind of, let's see. I'd love to, like I said, I haven't played around with that much. I know that I'll show you what I've done in the past, at least. Let's kind of go back and share this. Hold on. Do that. There we go. And let's see. We can take anyone got a topic that we would like to explore right now? Let me know. I'm trying to think of what to even write. I don't even have anything on my mind at the moment on what to write. I know I'm kind of boring that way. Let's see. Your building blocks explore a growth library of powerful tools, purpose-built with persuasive and engaging copy for your website. Okay. So what is this? Dismiss. All right. So long form assistant. All right. How about how to be great. To be great on your next live stream. Keywords optional. Video. Authority. Influencer. Let's see what happens. Let's generate ideas for a title. How to be great on your next live stream. Be great on your next live stream. Tips and tricks. Let's do that one. I have no ideas, so let's have it generate. Okay, so here are the 3 different beginnings. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, so I'll go in a little bit. There we go. Okay, so this is the first one. If you're looking to increase the number of views on your next live stream, then this blog post is for you. We'll go over some tips and tricks that will help you maximize your potential. First things first, you need a camera with quality video and sound. The following are tips and tricks to help you be great on your next live stream. We'll discuss a variety of topics. Okay, the following are 10. Okay, let's go with this first one. I like this one. Okay, open editor. Okay. So if you're looking, okay. If you're looking to increase the number of views, and okay, so now I want to compose, generate your next sentence. And now we can start making any changes. Yes. And this is kind of how it works. Now, how we take it best from here, right? Whether I keep writing. Oh, wow, that's cool. Like, or pull in from other stuff is really kind of what I don't know necessarily what is best, right? So this is like, if you're looking to increase the number of viewers on your next live stream, then this blog post is for you. Okay. Let's see. First things first, you need a good camera with quality video and sound. If it's not something that looking, okay. Let's get rid of that. So this is how I would do it, right? Audience, advance, ... You can't just show up without, a plan. Get rid of that. All right. This will also help the viewer engage so do you see what I'm doing here? So I'm kind of changing it, right? And I'm going to get rid of this. Provide clear calls to action. All right, but I don't think I'm showing you exactly how to ideally best do this. All right, compose. Oh, okay. So now, okay, for your camera and sound. So if we wanted to have it add, I guess, a sentence there, then we can have it do that, right? It didn't add anything though. All right. Do I have to get to the end here? No. Right, you're next at the cursor. All right. Let's go back to me, and we will figure this out when the gentleman joins us. So anyway, there we go. That's kind of the gist. You start and you interact with it and then go back and forth. And from there, many people have like figured out workflows. And that's really, I guess, where I'm excited about. Like what I want to get from Dave are a bunch of workflows really on how, if you're going to approach like an email, what would be the best way to do that? Like go to the, do you go to the dashboard where you go to like IATA? Do you use long form first? You know, this is where for me, I'm not really sure what is the ideal way to kind of use the different tools for the best purposes, if that makes sense. And so while we are waiting for him, and he should be here any second now, I will put a banner on it. This will be for, let's see. I'm just like that. We will eventually have that there. Cool. All right. This is, where is it? All right. This we can show on the bottom. So that will be our affiliate code for it. And I'm sure we'll be giving everybody something at some point who registered through us. But that'll just stick on the bottom, and Dave should be joining us shortly. What I've gotten from Sean Vossler was he had created an overview of how he creates posts, and that was pretty good, and I enjoyed it. And actually, let me see if I can get him the code as well, so I can invite him on. Copy that, and I can actually do this in Messenger. So I'll do that in Messenger. I don't want to do it in Messenger. Screw that. I do appreciate you guys being patient here. And whoops, let's get rid of all this and go to I think when Dave is giving you a tour, so just go back. No. And now let me go back to the device and see if Dave has joined us yet. And I assume I will know. There he is. So Dave, you just give me a thumbs up when you're ready. You are ready? Cool. So
how you doing?
Pretty good. How's it going, man?
Good. Are we live here now?
We are live right now. We have about a little over 100 people like watching on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn.
I love it, man. Thanks for having me here.
My pleasure. And I was hoping that so I started telling them a little bit about Conversion AI, but obviously you know a lot more than I do about it. And what I was hoping that you could actually, or we or you, more coming from you, of course, talk about different workflows of how to use Conversion AI to actually, to get certain outputs. And if I'm incorrect in even the way I'm describing this, by all means, correct me as well. But it seems like when I go in there, you have all these different options of so many different things. And, but sometimes I might just want to try and get a title for a live stream that I'm going to be doing on Flow or something like that. Right. And I'm not even sure what direction other than it's going to be on Flow. Or once I have the direction, then what am I going to do on the write-up for that? So those are little things that I've done already, using it and going to different things. But, when it comes to either writing a marketing email or writing a landing page or, I doubt, I asked people what they would want help with. And I think probably a webinar script might be a little bit much at this point, but who knows? I thought it was much. But Facebook post copy, sales copy, etc. So can you give everyone an overview of what Conversion AI is, why you think it's superior to what else is out there, and then potentially we can work through a couple workflows of the best ways to approach stuff?
That'd be awesome, man. Yeah. And
Cool.
Have you kind of screen shared or pulled up the tool yet?
I did, just for a second.
Sweet. Cool. Well, yeah, I mean, by way of a bit of background, I'm a marketer by trade, direct response. I kind of grew up in my entrepreneurial years, trying to learn direct response. I'm copying, sales letters. I'm reading Halpert and Dan Kennedy and all of that. And so, that was kind of my training. And then I got into software and we launched Proof, useproof.com, the little pop-up in the bottom right hand, of websites that shows how many people have bought or something like that. And that was kind of my first foray into software and figuring, okay, how do I kind of take some of these marketing things that I've learned and turn that into a software tool that kind of does the work for you. And then about 6 months ago, we started working on Conversion AI to, basically use AI, train it. Oh, there we go. Vossler's here. Vossler's kind of the granddaddy of what I'm even going to talk about with recipes and templates and all that.
Reef Lauren also has good stuff on how to use it.
Yeah, no, he's got a ton of great trainings there. But basically it was well, how do we kind of teach this AI to write great direct response copy and train it to not just write content, but write stuff that's going to convert well. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of took, this tool and started to train it more and what I would consider great copy. We've been able to get, really, really good results. If you're a master copywriter and copy's just effortless for you, I think it'll still be good for creating ideas and brainstorming, just kind of generating a bunch of different angles at once. Though, obviously if you're great at this and you don't really need help, then, it's not going to help you as much. I really think this is great for people that maybe feel good about writing copy or content, maybe even not, but just, want an extra, hand in it. They want to help generate more ideas. They want to help, get enough kind of different headlines, then kind of piece and compile stuff together. That's kind of what I find is the sweet spot for it. But even for me, I certainly feel good about sitting down and writing a marketing email. I feel I'm not overwhelmed by sitting down and writing out a webinar script. It's going to take me, 40 or 50 hours. But I know I can do it. And even I find this like super helpful to just sit down and do all that. So that's kind of, why we created the tool and kind of what we created it to do. And then I've just seen, a lot of folks take what we've built and like piece it together into something way cooler. That's what like Sean Vossler has done. He's way better at systems and organization than I am. And so we've kind of created all of these different building blocks, and guys like Sean or Reed have kind of strung them together into these, 12 steps to get a great sales letter, or, 15 steps to get, a course outline, or, something like that. But yeah, I'm happy to kind of share my screen and talk through and walk through, some of that stuff here so we can just get nitty gritty. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great. Can you, like, I don't know what you see on your side. Oh, you do. Cool. So yeah, that does. I'm going to add it to the stream. I'm going to see if I can step aside for a second. I'm going to let you just kind of, I'll be here, obviously, talking to you, but let's see what happens. Oh, cool. Oh, no, we both can be here. Cool.
Okay, sweet. So, I mean, here is, the kind of building blocks of Conversion AI.
One thing, Dave, just before you jump in, because you said something and I just want to like reinforce that, like for me with writing, I've written some things that have totally changed my life, that have like put me on the map, made me millions of dollars. But nonetheless, like I don't really enjoy the process of writing, especially like when I hit any kind of snag. And so a lot of times I avoid it. And one of the things that's pretty cool about a tool like Jarvis and Conversion AI is that it really kind of, at least for me, who like, maybe my tolerance for frustration is a little bit lower than most. So I avoid work if I feel like I might get frustrated. And this helps kind of make it okay for me to like roll up my sleeves and begin writing, knowing that I have like this tool right there kind of helping me every step of the way. It just lowers the barrier a little bit of what it takes mentally for me to get started. And for me, that's huge. I'm saying it in a minor way because I feel like I shouldn't even need that help. But I imagine I'm not alone as far as entrepreneurs out there. When you think about writing copy, you're just like, oh, and this helps with that for me. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, totally. Like I could sit down and I could pull out my swipe file and maybe iterate through 15 different kind of headline formulas. And I can kind of do that and like, insert stuff, move stuff around. And, I can definitely work my way through that. I don't really want to do that. So yeah, one, I'll probably just avoid it for like a few weeks. Two, when I sit down, like it's going to just be a little bit more painful for me to do that. And this just kind of will leapfrog over a lot of that. And this kind of knows a lot of those formulas already. And so you can just like let it iterate through a lot of those for you and hit up different angles, many of which I would never even have thought of because it's just, I didn't know enough about the customer, didn't know enough about that user base or whatever. So no, it certainly helps me get started and then helps me come up with stuff that I wouldn't have thought of before. It's even better. But yeah, so I mean, here's kind of, we've kind of trained it on these different templates. I think of these as like the individual building blocks. And so let's just hop into one and just kind of get nitty gritty here. Give me a product or a service that we want to kind of have as an example here. And we kind of do that.
Let's take a look here. How about,
could be anything.
How about, an addiction recovery post, or I'm going to give you the options: how to reduce inflammation, addiction recovery blog post, or a blog post using AI for copywriters.
Okay, so let's do addiction
or
recovery.
One last one. Someone else had recruiting and network marketing. Yeah, I'm not crazy about that.
Let's do an addiction recovery post.
Okay.
And I've never done, so let's kind of, I like doing these where, I'm not kind of like leading it down a route I know we can land. Okay. So here I'm going to use AIDA first. Let's say, we're writing a blog post and we want to go promote this thing. And so, I use AIDA a lot: attention, interest, desire, and action, to like format an email or a social post or whatever. So let's say, I'll tell you, let's go a step back. Let's say we're just kind of creating this blog post. I'm going to come to the blog section here. I'm going to take these, blog post topic ideas. Let's say it's this: addiction recovery. Let's say the product is about addiction recovery program. It's a 18-week addiction recovery program. Audience. We'll just leave all that blank here. So what this is going to do is it's going to take kind of what it knows about addiction recovery, what it takes about, product description, about addiction recovery programs. It's going to give me some like ideas on, maybe what a blog post topic would be. Okay, so maybe it's everything you need to know about eating disorders. Let's kind of take that. Now I could come to a blog post. I'll do a blog post title here.
It's so interesting because there's so many ways that you can come at this, right? You could start with the question like creator. You could start like,
Okay, so let's do an outline here. So everything you know about eating disorders. We kind of come up with like a blog post outline. So it's going to, again, take what it knows about, eating disorders, takes what it knows about blog posts, and it's going to kind of, help me put together a quick outline for it. So, what is an eating disorder? How do you know if you have one? Why do people develop them? Who's at risk, developing an eating disorder? What are the symptoms, treatment options for eating disorders?
It's pretty comprehensive.
Pretty good, right? So, I could kind of take that, pop it back into, this long form system, which I'll show you here in a sec, but let's get back to this. So blog post, I think we called it everything you need to know about eating disorders. Blog post titled everything you need to know about eating disorders. Product description. This is a blog post called everything you need to know about eating disorders. It covers, I can just pop, this in here. Tell it a bit about the blog post here. Okay, and tone of voice, I'll just leave that blank. Let's generate some ideas based on this. And again, this is going to help me create some copy to go promote this blog post, to go, post about it on social, drive some traffic there. Okay, so attention, eating disorders are serious mental health illness that can have devastating effects on your health. Interest, you may be wondering if you or someone has an eating disorder. The good news is it's not always easy to tell the difference between normal dieting and disordered dieting. But there are some warning signs to look out for, like skipping meals, feeling guilty after eating certain foods, or obsessively weighing yourself and tracking calories in food journals. Desire, if any of these sound familiar, take our free self-test now. It'll help you figure out whether or not you need professional treatment for an eating disorder. Action, take the test here. So, if you're reading this, and I don't know anything about eating disorder programs or anything like that, so there may be some of the stuff that's not true. But you might look at this and you might say, okay, cool. I like some of what's happening here. I like some of the way that they phrase that. I like looking out for feeling guilt about certain foods. I hadn't thought about that before. You're going to be able to take a lot of that stuff and start to piece it together. Again, here'd be another one. Attention, eating disorders are a serious mental health issue. If you have someone if you or someone you know has an eating disorder, it's important to get help right away. Desire, the sooner you seek treatment, the better your chances of recovery. Action, click here for more information on how to get help with an eating disorder. And so this would be kind of the first place I would typically start, just to get some ideas around, like, what are the angles here? What are the different ways to phrase things? What are some of the different, sentences that I might want to include, and start to kind of piece these things together here in order to kind of get some ideas. Now, if I'm also thinking through like how to, promote this, go to this marketing angles tool. I could do the same thing. I could do, let's see, a blog post titled everything you know about eating disorders. I'm just going to do that again there. This is going to start to give me some different angles that I might call out or I might hit up. Okay, so this blog post will provide you with a clear idea of the causes and symptoms of eating disorders. Addicted to food, you're not alone. Eating disorders are real, and this article will explain everything you need to know, helping understand the complexities of eating disorders. And so one thing I've done is I'm thinking about, let's say again, I'm promoting this blog post. I want to send out a few different emails about that. I'm going to need some like different angles to hit on over a course of a drip sequence or different emails. And so it's like, well, what would be some of those different angles that I want to hit? Okay, I could have an email, talking about, the causes and symptoms of eating disorders. I could have an email that's more about, maybe emotional about, are you addicted to food? you're not alone, and kind of hitting on like, the loneliness. I could have an email talking about, the complexities, of that. I could, these are just gonna be different ways to hit on the same topic over and over. So I'll kind of come here and I'll start to like, piece some of these things together into, at least different like kind of folders in my mind of like different kind of content that I would create here. But again, I guess what I would highlight is I don't actually know about eating disorders, and yet I'm probably 80% of the way there to be able to write some copy, for eating disorders. Again, I still want to like fact check this, make sure that this is right. But I would never be able to sit down and talk about eating disorders and like write out copy at all for that. I wouldn't even know where to start. It would take me a week to just get started here. And this is already kind of getting me, started in that direction there.
And I think, right, Sean Vossler's approach was like, he would have it create an outline. It would go to like the blog post outline.
Yep.
Right. Then from that outline, then he would do like content expansion or sentence expansion, like one of those. I don't remember which one, like for each of those bullet, like for each of the outline points, and then use that kind of as the starting point, if I'm remembering correctly. Is that kind of his process? I think that
totally. So we kind of took a little bit of Sean's process and built it out into more of a flow here. And so let's say, like, again, I've showed you some of the different building blocks, and we could spend all day looking through different ones for Facebook.
And as you're kind of like scrolling through those 2 questions here, John Madison asked, can the software take existing copy and tweak it? And then the other question, so I'll just give them both to you, is what's the difference between Conversation.ai? If you can speak intelligently about Copy Pro, then go ahead. But if you don't feel like you can, then don't worry about it. I can deal with that later.
Cool. I can't.
Okay.
I've heard good things about it over the years. I think you would know more than me.
It's not based on GPT-3. It's older than that, and it's really just using high converting sales letters as kind of the training material for their for their AI tool. And it's kind of a hybrid, I would say, between AI and also like a template-based approach, but kind of more than just templates, but less than what this can do, as far as this can do any kind of writing whatsoever. That is particularly geared just for sales copy, and it's based on previous sales copy. And that's kind of the gist there. It doesn't handle most of the other things at all. And so, this is more comprehensive. That is more specialized and specific. That's how I would say it.
Right. Cool. So let me just hop in here, kind of like, let's put this together into a blog post.
But what about the other question? Can the software?
I'm gonna show that how to like improve your existing copy. I'll show that a little bit better on the next screen here. Okay, so let's say, describe the content I want to create. I want to write a blog post about eating disorders. This would be a place. I mean, you could also start here. I could say write a webinar, script about this, write a VSL, write a marketing email, whatever. In this case, I'm going to say write a blog post. Let's say I want to, put this eating disorders as a keyword here. That's going to generate some different titles for me. All right, this is taking a bunch of, it's been trained on like what ranks high. So, outsmart your eating disorder, strategies to fight the battle, eating disorders, warning signs and realities, how to conquer an eating disorder, 10 things to know about eating disorders. This is pretty good here. So let's say, 10 things to know about eating disorders. Now, just to get me started here, it's going to be able to generate an intro paragraph based on the title, based on the description, and based on, the keywords here. It's going to give me a few options for intros. Eating disorders are often misunderstood and can be difficult to talk about. It's important for people who have eating disorders to know someone who has an eating disorder, to understand the different types that exist, how they develop, and what treatment options are available. In this blog post, we'll discuss 10 things you need to know about eating disorders. What do you think about that, Rich?
It's not bad.
It's a pretty good start here.
Yeah.
And again, now I've got a full paragraph here. Okay, so now what it's going to do is, I'm in the long form editor. Basically, what I can do is compose, and it's going to read the previous content, and then it's going to kind of try to guess what would work next and like what makes the most sense as far as next words here. So let's go ahead and run this. We'll see what it comes up with here.
Now,
Okay, so
if you go in and change all that, will the next writing be based on everything that you've changed? So
it just kind of keeps seeing what you're writing, and then we'll kind of adjust from there. So here it kind of, wrote out, some different content, about, again, these are kind of different angles here. Really what it's trying to do is kind of 10 things you need to know about eating disorders. Right. So this would be like number 1, this would be number 2, number 3. Let's say I don't really want to do that. Well, what I can do is come over here into this power mode, and I could like go back and get my blog post outline. Okay, so I'm going to take my title, 10 things to know about eating disorders. Let me pop that in there. I'm going to help me generate a quick outline here. Okay, so I won't read through all these individually, but let's say I just pop those in here. So the term eating disorder is not specific to one diagnosis. Okay, so now let's say I've got my headings here. I need to want to tweak these kind of based on, the audience, based on what you're trying to rank for, and, all of that stuff here. But let's say I had those. I can use some short codes in the tool to kind of help direct it. Let's go ahead and run this. So now it's going to take this intro paragraph. It's going to look at that. It's going to look at the title. It's going to look at the description. It's going to try to guess what I want it to write right here.
And is that because you put the 2 hash marks there?
The hash marks basically tell it that it's a paragraph header, and it makes it more likely to write a paragraph below. Okay, so term eating disorder is not specific to one diagnosis. Eating disorders include anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa. Eating disorder is not otherwise specified in binge eating disorder. Individuals with eating disorders may, it's like, again, it's unpacking that there.
Right.
And gives me, pretty good stuff there. And I could write a little bit more here. One of the most common, let me go ahead and hit compose again. Whoops. One of the most common eating disorders is anorexia nervosa, which involves a person refusal to maintain a healthy weight and an intense fear of.
That's a great example, actually, what you just did there. Like, you have this thought, like, as far as let's share what is the most common. You have no idea what's the most common, so you just kind of the most common, and it will fill it in. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of times I just kind of steer it with filler words, or like, like one thing I didn't realize about. And then like you generate, and it like runs there, or a common misconception about this thing, generate. It'll kind of fill that in. So I'm definitely like steering it more and more. Here you can see it actually, kind of repeated a lot of stuff up here, and I'll show you how to, actually reduce that. But, here I've basically got, my header and then a pretty good paragraph without really having to do a lot of work or a lot of thinking around that. Let's say you wanted to, improve this, or let's say, in this case, term eating disorder is not specific to one diagnosis. You wanted to improve that because that was like one of the questions. How do I improve existing copy? Well, you could take any copy and you could paste it into here and then use some of the tools to improve it. So one, I could just rephrase this. So if I highlight and click rephrase, it's going to try to rephrase it. Eating disorders are not specific to one diagnosis alone. I can run it again. Eating disorders are not specific to one diagnosis. The term eating disorder is not specific to a single diagnosis. I kind of keep running this until I found like maybe a better way to say that. Eating disorders may come in many forms, are not limited to one diagnosis. And another tool that we created was, this explain it to a 5th grader. So I've kind of always found, when I'm writing copy, I'm trying to like dumb down what I'm saying to make it convert better, to make it more appealing. And I'm writing too big of words, I'm writing run-on sentences and all of that. What this does is basically takes any copy and it converts it to the level of a 5th grader, which I've found when I've done that on a sales page or landing page or sales letter or whatever, the conversions go up here.
Yeah, well, the best-selling business books of all time have all been written to a 5th grade level as well.
Really?
Yep.
Perfect. Well, look at this. This took the term eating disorder is not specific to one diagnosis. A 5th grade, to 5th graders, maybe eating disorders are not all the same.
Right.
Shorter, doesn't use the word diagnoses, doesn't use the word specific. Much simpler. So that's something that we've done before. Like when we're working on a new landing page, we'll like write out all the copy of it. We'll take all the copy and just paste it all into here. Just run through and just keep, clicking on explain to a fifth grader until we get like, something that's a little bit more simple. Eating disorders are not only one thing. It maybe makes sense. Different people have different eating disorders. You can see it's basically, simplifying the sentence. It'll kind of take out run-ons. It'll take out, kind of complex sentences, make everything much more simple to read. And so that's something you could do as well. Just paste something in here, and use some of these existing tools until you can get something that you really feel good about.
Very cool. And you might as well answer this because I'm sure this is a common question. Like, does it source copy from the net? Like, how does it actually work? I think.
Yeah. So basically it's been trained by reading about 10% of the internet, Wikipedia, blog posts, stuff like that. So if you're writing about something that's like widely written about on the internet, it'll do fine. If it's something like super niche, it's probably going to have a little bit of a hard time there. But then it's kind of taken that and it's learned the patterns. It's learned how people write blog posts. It's learned how people write Facebook posts. It's learned all those different things. And so we don't have like a bunch of like Mad Lib formulas like running. Right. It's not like, insert this word into this headline. It's read tons of headlines and then it, comes up with a bunch of different stuff that way there. But yeah, it's trained, based on reading about 10% of the internet.
And do you, can you tell what is the favorite, like what are the most used feature sets so far?
For Conversation.ai?
Yeah.
Here'd be an example I kind of just ran where it didn't totally give me the right output. So it definitely is like a little bit of like, a learning curve of figuring out how to kind of steer it. By far, the most people like use this, long form assistant, plus the power mode here where it's got all the different templates over here on the side. You're kind of, using these, bringing it into here and then letting, we call it Jarvis, basically finish off the copy for you. But yeah, these are by far the most used sections here just because, people want to write long copy. I write my marketing emails in here. I'll write, all of our Facebook ads I'll write in here. It just makes it, so much easier there.
And the just to follow up on the question as far as like it's read about 10% of the internet. So Priya in Israel wants to know does she have to worry about plagiarism with it?
No, I'd say 99.999% of the time. And we'll check. And tons of our customers, this question comes up all the time. Tons of our customers have checked all their copy and Copyscape and Grammarly and all the different plagiarism checkers. And it almost always comes back perfect. There are some times when like a different plagiarism checker will like flag, a sentence like, when it comes to eating disorders, and like that's the plagiarism. It's like, well, that sentence has been said, 40,000 times this week. And so it's never like anything significant because it's not really like, it's not pulling like full articles or full paragraphs or full sentences from other sources. More so it's like learning how those sources assemble their sentences and then trying to kind of imitate that. So short answer is no.
Nothing to worry about. And do you guys offer a trial at this point?
Yep. Yeah. We've got either you can either do a 5-day free trial or you can just pay up front. And then we've got a 7-day money back guarantee. Functionally, they're the same thing. Functionally, I don't want your money if it doesn't work for you. And we'd be happy to refund you if you pay and then don't like it. I think those are just two kind of different angles that different people like.
And then what's the monthly?
We've got two plans. We got a base plan of $29 a month, and then a pro plan, which gets you access to the long form editor that starts at $109 a month.
And do you anticipate that going up?
Yeah, that'll probably keep going up. It's gone up. We've kind of raised the price like every month or two since we launched. But then if you're already on a plan, we're probably not going to raise that, on you. Right. So the sooner you get in, the cheaper you'll be long term.
Got it. And are there any questions that people always ask that, you might as well answer here?
Yeah. People always ask about plagiarism. Again, the answer is no. People people want to know, does this rank well? And like, does Google allow this to rank? One, I don't think there's any way for Google to know.
Right.
But Google's smarter than me, and maybe they will figure that out someday. And I think too, even if Google does know, what Google wants is for good, high quality content to make it to readers. And so if this helps you write better content and write stuff that readers actually want to read, then Google might rank this higher because, ultimately they don't care who writes or how it gets written. They just want good stuff for their readers here. Practically, we have a ton of people that are ranking a lot of content inside of our Facebook group and existing customers that are doing, far more content there, 10, 20 times more content they were writing before. And it is ranking. And so obviously I can't say anything about the future because I have no idea how Google will handle things in the future. But I think fundamentally, I don't see any reason that it wouldn't rank. And good content is still going to win. And I think this helps you write better content, as opposed to just being some article spinner.
Totally agreed.
Common one. Does it convert better, on Facebook ads and, stuff like, high converting stuff. I'll say this about that. I think any given copywriter could, and even maybe non-copywriters, like you could create variants that beat Jarvis.
Right.
I think any copywriter, like you could write 10 headlines and you might pick the one that you think is going to win, but you're probably wrong. And so I think what this does is it's going to give you lots of variations that you can test and lots of variations that you can tweak. I'm guessing if you created, if you created 10 and Jarvis created 10, there's probably a very good chance that one of the Jarvis ones will work. But I think more than that, you might create 10, Jarvis could create 100 for you. And now there's a very good chance that Jarvis will win out here. And so I think if anything, it makes it so much easier to test Facebook ads or test sales letters or anything like that. Just because you can get so many more variants so quickly.
And what about, can we do an example of a Facebook ad?
Yeah, let's do that here. Okay, so I'm going to create another document. So let's say, write a long form Facebook ad selling. What are we selling here?
Let's sell hair extensions.
Promoting hair extensions. Okay. Promoting. Yeah, we'll do that. This is going to kind of take me down a blog post route, but I'll switch it up when we get into there. I'll do this direct response style Facebook ad. Okay, I'm going to kind of ignore some of this stuff. We might use some of this, but maybe not. Okay, you're looking for a new life. You're tired of being stuck in the same cycle. That might not be a bad way to kick off a Facebook ad. Okay, so here it's kind of coming up. Let's see what I wrote here first. Are you looking for a new life? Are you stuck of being in the same cycle? Do you want to feel more confident about your appearance and gain back some control over your life? If so, then, that's pretty good, right? It's like, it's not just saying, hey, we sell hair extensions. It's really going a layer deeper. And I think one of the things that people say to me without trying the tools, they go, oh, this probably creates super boring, unemotional, very vanilla copy. And, when I look at this, this is not just some boring hair extension ad. This is going into your heart and who you are and how you see yourself and tying it to gaining back control over your life. And so, I'd say that's a pretty interesting angle it's kind of taking there. And me personally, I would never start that probably because I'd probably just think, okay, let's talk about hair extensions and the benefits of this and all that. Okay, so if so, then hair extensions are just what you need. Hair extensions can transform your look by giving you the length and volume that will take years off your face. You'll be instantly hooked on how good it feels when people stop complimenting on how much younger they think you look. When people, I think that should say start complimenting.
Yeah, I guess it should be start, right?
Start complimenting. And if that wasn't enough, hair extensions can help with those days when there's no time to style your hair or wash it. Again, these are benefits I wouldn't think of. I wouldn't know that, like, I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, like this saves time. Like, talk about like, instead of selling features, sell the benefit. It's like, okay, like the benefit is like, yeah, you're going to get out the door faster. You're going to be able to get to work faster. You're going to be able to go pick your kid up from daycare faster or whatever. With our 100% human Remy hair extensions, we've got all of your needs covered. So you're the expert here. What do you think of that copy out of the gate?
It's a good start for sure. And certainly something better than what probably you or I would come up with from scratch. So from that standpoint, definitely a good starting place. I noticed, like, is the Power Editor relatively new, or was that always there and I just was completely ignoring it when I've been using it?
It's been around for about a month, so you might have just kind of missed it.
Yeah. And that basically allows you to be working on one thing and then pulling stuff from other without messing up that third column. Is that kind of the deal?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So it kind of just brings all the templates into one, because we've noticed a lot of people, like Sean, just had a Google Doc open as well, and they were kind of pasting everything into Google Doc and assembling it there. And we're like, well, let's just go ahead and have our own Google Doc.
Makes total sense.
So let's look at this real quick here. Okay. So in addition to the natural, easy to care for hair you've been looking for, I love that. Natural, easy to care for hair you've been looking for. We also offer a wide variety of colors and textures that every person can find their perfect match. Hair Extensions Texas. They just kind of made up that name.
Right.
Well, I guess it was in the title there.
Yeah.
We'll be your new go-to company when it comes to getting all of your beauty needs met, no matter what your age or gender you are. Our team is ready to help with anything you want. We want everyone in the world feeling beautiful, yada, yada, yada. So, now I might kind of say, well, I want to kind of wrap this thing up. I think that ad would work pretty well. Again, I need to know more about the space. I need to like spend a little more time on it, but that's pretty good. So let's say it's hair extensions product. Our hair extensions are natural and beautiful. I don't even know how to write a description, but I'll give it a little bit. It's going to kind of give me, because it's read extensively on hair extensions, it's read more on hair extensions than you or I will ever read. Okay. So, now I've got some more angles here. Looking for a solution for your thinning hair. Okay. Again, I didn't really know that was like, I guess what somebody's looking for, a pain point there. I could kind of use that. Have you been thinking about getting hair extensions? Okay, that's pretty good. Do you want to look like a celebrity? Again, I hadn't thought that before, but that's kind of a cool angle. Like, this is the thing that makes you look like a celebrity. So I could kind of take those, click this ad right now and purchase some of our high quality hair extensions today. Okay, so now I've got my CTA. And I can go through it. I can kind of pull out, a few of the different things that have interest and desire. And it's like, what I've got here is probably like a pretty good start for like a long form Facebook ad. And if I were to go load this up in Facebook, what I would do, and we spend a good amount on Facebook ads, and I've run a lot of Facebook ads before, I'd probably load up 3 versions where all I'm changing out is this first hook. And the first sentence is the same. And I'm really going to test, maybe 5 to 10 different hooks and kind of say, okay, well, what's really making people buy? Like, maybe there's a lot more to this celebrity thing. And I could really go deep and, build out some marketing around like looking like a celebrity there. But it's like, this would just make it so much easier to test a bunch of different angles, that may end up leading to me building out a whole new funnel, around one angle, or a whole new, sales page around one of those different angles there.
And if you change the tone of voice to like humor, would that radically change what it pushes out?
Yeah. So let's do funny here. You can even put in people. So like, someone put in, Jerry Seinfeld, and like it started like, writing more like a comic. Or I could put comedian. Sometimes you'll see it, sometimes you won't. Do you want to be a mermaid?
All mermaids have long hair. I've never seen.
I know, totally. Let's do this. Let's do comedian. Somebody put in Billy Mays. You know, I forget what he was
Yep.
promoting, the infomercial guy. And I guess it was like, great. You know, I'll do Billy Mays after this. We can kind of see. I haven't tested that myself, but somebody was like, it was hilarious. Hair extensions are the best way to get long, luscious locks you've always dreamed of. You know, you know how you've always wanted to have long hair, but your genetics just won't let you. That might be a great angle. Again, I wouldn't have thought of that, but that might be awesome. So we'll do Billy Mays. Is that his name, Billy Mays?
Yep. And while we're waiting for that, Hugo has a question here, so you can answer this question pretty quick. Yeah. Can you give it the angle you want and then let the system write it? And yes, you can.
Yeah. So basically anything you input is going to guide it, you know? And so if I wanted it to really have an angle, you know, I might do this. Our hair is natural and beautiful, you know, and I could say, and will make you look like a celebrity, or, and are the solution for thinning hair. Right. And that's going to definitely steer it down like the thin hair route. Or if I really wanted to like force, I might say hair extensions, product for thinning hair, you know, or for the celebrity appearance, or, you know, for those who can't grow it because they're genetics or whatever.
Right.
So, and that'll definitely lead it down that route. Hair extensions are the best in the world. They're natural and beautiful, so you can wear them every day without worrying about damaging your own hair. You deserve to feel confident in your gorgeous locks that make you stand out from the crowd. See, I love that. It's like it's really hitting on the benefits. It's like, you know, do you want to stand out in the crowd? Do you want to show up better every day? You know, that's probably what people with hair extensions, you know, ultimately are looking for. We have all types of, you know, colors, length, styles, whether it's a wedding or an everyday event, you know, yada yada. Tired of your hair? So again, this is the Billy Mays. You know, it's maybe a little bit hard to tell, you know, is this Billy Mays or not? But, you know, definitely, you know, kind of a direct response, you know, sales copy style right there.
And does it have the same ease when you're writing B2B? I would assume so. Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's everything that I write, you know, is B2B. And I'd say a lot of our customers, you know, are B2B. It works great. You know, it's as long as it's a topic that's been written about well, you know, definitely writes really well here. Let's see. I had some, here was Single Grain, you know, marketing agency. A lot of people are like agencies, you know, they're using this for themselves and for their clients here. Yeah, I mean, you can see, you know, I typed in a bit about like just a marketing agency. You know, you've been looking for a digital marketing agency that will give you more than just the basics. We know what it feels like to be frustrated with your current agency. That's why we offer personalized one-to-one service and a team of specialists who are experts in their fields. No account managers here. Our goal is to help you grow your business by focusing on what matters most to you and your company. We want to make sure that you have the best possible experience working with us to take care of everything from strategy development all the way through implementation optimization. And if there's anything that we can do for you, don't hesitate to ask. Click this ad right now. I mean, again, it knows a ton about marketing agencies. It's writing, you know, really well about that. So there's really no difference between B2B or B2C here.
And where do you see the evolution of this tool going?
Just getting better and better. I mean, this is really like just the first base here.
Right.
You know, I think there's still a learning curve, you know, in getting up and running. You know, as you can see here, it's not a huge learning curve, but yeah, you still got to learn, you know, some of the shortcuts and how to control it and all of that there. You know, as far as our tool, one of the next big things that we're working on is letting users build their own sequences here, their own, you know, templates.
Like
and
workflows.
yeah, exactly. Their own workflows that, you know, Sean could just create his 12-step workflow and then just share that with you. You know, so you can use Sean's or you can use Rich's VSL workflow, you know, that, you know, just import that into your account and like run that. And so, and we've definitely started off by thinking, okay, let's build these like personalized or these like building blocks. Then we'll take those once those are good enough and like let you stack them all together and do that. And so that's kind of where I see us being able to like tackle longer form stuff that, you know, it's hard to fit in one template and it needs some like guidance. You could do that with like a 12-step sales letter formula and just kind of like run each one of them, one after the other, to end up getting some, full email there.
Very cool. And I would imagine that maybe let's go back to just you and I for a few minutes here, like, because I know you're going to have to jet in like 15. What have been some of the most like popular questions that you've gotten that we haven't that I haven't asked you and no one's asked me to ask you regarding, use of this tool from a marketing perspective? Because I imagine you've been doing a lot as more and more people are talking about, Conversion AI.
Oh yeah. No, I just hang out in our Facebook group all day long and chat with people about, various things there. Yeah, I'd love to hear, any questions that people have, kind of about it. And I think the big question people have is just like, will this work for my use case? Will this work for my industry? Will this work for cold emails? And I'd be happy. It might be easiest. I could show a few, just keep going. I could talk about cold emails. I could talk about, how to do SEO with this. I talk about how to like write video scripts with that. Cause I think it's a big thing everybody wants to know. Mm-hmm. I'd say like 9 times out of 10, the answer is yes. And that's because it really does know a lot. And it can write deeply about hair extensions. And to me, that sounds like a fairly like niche product. I know it's probably a big industry, but it's like, that's a pretty like niche thing that it's like effortlessly writing like tons of great copy for. And so the answer is usually yes, it can write about your thing. And then as far as like, well, can it write a VSL script, or can it write Pinterest pins, or whatever different thing you want to write? A lot of it just comes down to like your creativity and like your ability to like kind of walk it through and guide it through. Obviously, we need to make it easier on our end, easier and easier continually on our end to do that. But like 1 week in, right after we first launched, like Sean was already writing like huge blog posts and sales letters with it. And most people were like, most people had no idea they could do that. They were stuck with that. Right. And like Sean's just like, oh, this is effortless. Like I can do that. So I think a lot of it comes down to just kind of your creativity around that.
And this, like, I'm curious what your answer is to this.
Do you recommend always using it through the long form editor opposed to picking specific templates such as Facebook ad? I generally open everything in the long form editor now, because when you're in there, I can still use the power mode to pull in the Facebook ad or whatever there. But in the long form editor, I get that compose button that basically reads everything above and then generates, 100 more words for me after that, or 100 more characters for me after that. So you just get more flexibility when you're inside the long form editor as opposed to like just in a template. So yeah, I like hanging out in the long form editor and using the power mode.
Got it. And someone asked me earlier, like about Write Sonic. Is there any other company that you feel is the closest competitor to you guys? Like,
yeah, there's a handful of other competitors, I'd say, and I don't know about all of them or what each of them does. As far as I can tell, a lot of the other founders are nice people. Here's what I would say the difference is from my understanding is, one, I don't think anybody else is really a marketer. I think a lot of them are software people that are kind of using this AI, but don't know. They've never run Facebook ads before. They've never written copy. Like our whole team is just like
internet marketers.
Yeah. We're internet marketers, right? Like that's I'm going to traffic conversion, and that's my whole game. So I think we've known what good copy looks like, and we've continually like squeezed the machine until we got what we would consider good copy. And then we're also able to like teach how to use this to put together Facebook ads, how to do blog posts, and how to do emails and all that stuff. And so it's like, I think we've got that training component on top of it, as well. So it's kind of like one thing underlying a lot of it, I would say. From a more like product standpoint, this is built on GPT-3 as like the primary AI model. That's what most of these tools are kind of built on underneath. We are one of basically 2 that can write blog posts and long form content using GPT-3. Now, all the other ones have kind of spun up their own models or used GPT-2, or I don't know what all everyone's doing. But there's a reason that all of these things came out in the last year, because GPT-3 came out. And so it's like, if you're not using GPT-3, Like you're using something that like has been around for years and no one cared about at all, and no one still like really cares. So it's going to be like a much lower quality generally. And so that's, you know, from a just product specific example, you're going to get the highest quality out of our like long form stuff than you would from anybody else's.
That makes sense. Now, Priya also asked another question. This is it here. I don't know if you like, because this is interesting.
The style of writing in the demo is pretty much the classical formula, and I wonder if it can target also specific industry styles. So it will basically read and adjust based on however you're writing. Here, if I can share my screen again.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Example of this here.
You should be able to just choose it. Can you?
Okay. Can you guys see my screen right now?
Oh, wait, there we go.
There we go. Okay, cool. So let me do this. So let me just change directions to like a different style. So I think I've been like writing like direct response style stuff. It's like write a short creative story.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of ads about like write your own ebook and whatever. Like,
yeah, people writing books. They're writing nonfiction stuff about Billy. Billy is a young boy getting bullied at school until he, you know, finds a secret room. Who knows what that's about? I'm basically trying to shift styles completely here.
Yeah. And while you're doing that, just real quick, because Lisa wanted to know this. So it's not GPT-P, it's GPT-3. And it's the most advanced AI right now regarding like content creation that's out there.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, GPT-3. Okay, cool. So Billy has always been the easy target. He doesn't have any friends, and he's always getting picked on in school. It goes back to when Billy was 3 years old and his parents had just divorced. One day after leaving a particularly bad day in school, Billy found an old door that led to a secret room with outdated technology from the 1980s. There we go. In this room, he could play games that anyone bothering him or telling him how stupid they thought he was. Now let's see this. Wow. No, I'll just run this here. So, wow, whispered Billy as he looked around the room. He had never seen anything like this. There was a vintage Pac-Man arcade machine, an Atari 2600 with asteroids and Space Invader cartridges, Nintendo Entertainment. This is where his life would change forever. The thing Billy didn't know was that this room was a portal that would transport him to the year 2082. This is where he would grow up and get revenge on all those boys who had hurt him in school, yada, yada, yada. So you could steer this thing, and basically you're just going to kind of like keep connecting plot points and keep connecting, you know, different sequences, you know, and have this help you, you know, build out a whole story. We also have inside like the power mode here. There is a story, creative story template where I could kind of put in, you know, the tone of voice. I want to make it a horror story or a thriller or whatever there. But you can see here, this is not direct response style copy. This is a story. But what even I found is like a lot of stuff that like works on social, like social posts or on LinkedIn especially, are these like more story type things. Like, let me tell you about the day I got fired, or let me tell you about the worst day, you know, of my life.
Right.
Like that stuff works, especially on social, also in copy. You know, and so I'll use these tools to like weave in personal stories, you know, into copy as well. Just I think everybody loves a good story here. So it can definitely write any different tone that you write. It can kind of follow that. What's up, Reed? Good to see you, man. Yeah, Reed.
I've heard that Reed has done some really great stuff like Sean has. I don't know Reed, but I know Sean, and Reed has done a lot of stuff like Sean has as well.
Oh yeah, Reed's used this more than I have. He's always putting cool videos on how to do, you know, different stuff and use it for different use cases. So that's one thing cool about our community is just like a lot of people in there posting walkthroughs and trainings about all these different things I've never even thought about. You know, they're using this to like post on, you know, Google My Business posts. I didn't even really know about Google My Business posts. All of a sudden we've got like a whole industry springing up in there, people like using it for that kind of thing. So that's really cool. A lot of our stuff is now community generated.
Very cool. Just Reed, send me a message. I'd love to get a chance to meet you. And Molly Mahoney told me that there's wonderful things going on in the Facebook group. She actually told me I got to spend more time in that Facebook group.
Yeah.
As people are delivering great stuff there.
Yeah, Molly and Reed are definitely two of our stars in there. I'll show you one more thing real quick here too. For those that are thinking about, blogging or, doing SEO stuff with this, we do this integration with a tool called Surfer SEO, where basically what it does is it just pulls in, one, it'll help you kind of build out like a content brief and help you kind of figure out like what does your blog post need to do to rank well. So if I'm trying to rank for this keyword, St. Augustine grass, this is one example I did. It basically goes through and figures out, based on the top 10 posts, what does your blog post need to look like to rank, in the top there. So it's kind of saying, okay, it needs to have, between 1,200 and 1,400 words, have at least 37 or 27 paragraphs, have, 15 headings, have some images, and then include these different keywords here. And so what you can do is just as you're writing, you can just continue steering Jarvis to hit these different keywords and, to talk about weed control and talk about early spring, kind of build everything out to the point where you are getting a content score of like at least 70 or above. So this is probably like the coolest integration that we have for like SEO related purposes. And I know some about SEO, but not really a lot. Like I would sit down and panic if I had to like write an SEO kind of focused blog post from scratch. This makes it incredibly easy to just like pick the keyword you want to go after, keep writing until you have 70%, and you're probably good to go there. Go ahead and ship it without worrying about too much other stuff there. So it's definitely hugely, hugely helpful and super cool that, the Surfer team is integrated into our product too for people that are looking at SEO.
Yeah. So for that tool specifically, though, you'd have to be a subscriber to Surfer.
Yeah,
correct?
you'd have to be a subscriber to Surfer for this one here.
And are you integrated with a whole bunch of other different things at this point, or is this relatively new?
Yeah, this is the only one right now. We're kind of testing, what that looks like to integrate and like bring more tools into our stack here. But people seem to really like it, so we'll probably do that more and more.
Yeah, I think it is a really cool feature. I've never heard of Surfer, but it's something I'll check out for sure.
It's like here, like let's say, how high you should cut. It says in my header I should have, warm season grasses. Warm season grasses. It will now, give me a 1 there. I've mentioned that one time and my score is going to go up a little bit here. So it just makes it super easy for somebody like me, even if you know SEO really well, super easy to just like hit that threshold there.
Makes very cool sense. Very cool. People are blown away. They're loving it.
It really is. It really is really cool. And test it out, for free. Or, you can just sign up for a paid plan and, we'll give you a refund if you want as well. I'd say like 95% of people that try it are like totally blown away and really, really do love it. Yeah. What other questions can I answer?
Let me tell you about the worst day of my life. Their AI marketing tricked me into spending all my money on self-help information.
That's it.
That's
it.
Time saver. Andy Beard has a question. How does it work if you have 20 entities that must be used in specific sections of the page for semantic publishing? I'm not even sure I understand the question. Do you?
I don't.
All right,
really
Andy, that's a different
understand
way.
it. But we also do have like different projects, so people that are like agencies, if you also have different clients in each one of them, or, maybe you have, just certain, categories inside of your own company that you want to write, or you want to like keep your emails in one section, your Facebook ads in another section, whatever, we do have the ability to organize, all of that there. And yeah, we're really just getting started. I think we've come a long way here in about 6 months, but there's so much. If you think it's cool now, you're going to just totally love what we've got coming up over the next few months.
Very cool. Any, you want to give us any hints of what's coming?
Oh, I mean,
Or
a lot of it
teasers?
is. Actually, one thing I will say, this is a common question, just like, well, what languages does it work in? Does it work in things outside of English? We do have an integration with a company called DeepL, which most people that are doing much translation like know about DeepL and kind of think of it as like one of the better ones there. But we do let you translate with DeepL, and so I can't get to it here, but DeepL has a ton of different languages that it'll work in. So you can kind of see any of these languages are ones that we can output in to varying degrees of quality. Translation's tough, especially for AI, because it's like, do you want the literal translation? Do you want it to be a little bit more, figurative? But eBuild does a good job of that. And people have been generally pretty happy with what they're getting there. But then, what's coming up, as I said before, we're just going to make it much easier to string these together, much easier to have a lot more control and to route Jarvis in certain ways inside of the long form editor. It's just going to be much, much easier. So we got a big announcement coming up at the end of the month on June 29th. We're going to announce, some big new features and some new, changes that we've got coming up here. I think it's going to make things, 2 to 5 times easier to go get stuff done here. So that's going to be a pretty cool deal that I think will make it much simpler.
Got it. And so let's say someone has either already is on the free plan, has already bought, whatever. What's the best way for someone to get fully trained? Is it to spend a lot of time in the Facebook group? Are there a bunch of training things that you think everyone should watch?
Yeah. So, if you go to conversion.ai/academy, here's where we're going to build out all of our trainings. And we're always doing more and more live trainings. We just did one with Sean Vossler 2 hours ago about how to go land clients.
I popped on there for a short moment.
Go how to land clients, and then you actually write. Here it is: how to land clients and use Jarvis to write their copy. If you're not doing that, as a marketing agency, I think you're really missing out. We have one guy, Dan Kurtz. Maybe Dan's on this. He was running a Facebook ad agency up until January. We launched this, and he thought, well, we're not a content agency, but let's try this out. And he started offering like SEO and content as an offer. Went back and upsold a ton of his existing clients, and then started landing a ton of new clients offering like local SEO services. And he's gone from like 0 to I think like 22 writers on his team in the last 5 months, and just like totally building out this whole other arm of his agency. And so if you're an agency, this is like a great addition, a great additional offer that you can go offer. Or if you're looking to start an agency, it's like a great way to just get going there. And we've got experts like Sean teaching us how to do that.
Very cool.
Stuff like that. And then, also this is a great training here, how to use, intro into using the long form assistant, for just kind of basic training, like that'd be the place to start. But yeah, we've always got a bunch of cool upcoming trainings. We've got a bunch of, past training recordings and all of that. And I'd say that's one thing we're really, really heavy on, is trying to train you up in it.
Yeah, well, it kind of goes with the territory because it's so powerful and it's so easy that it's easy for people to overlook certain features that could make a difference for them.
Totally.
Do you know who? Maybe this is another person that's using the.
Oh yeah, that's the guy I just talked about. Danny.
Okay.
He's the one who went from 0 to 22 writers.
Oh, that's the guy. Okay.
Yeah. So, and a lot of our training really is like community led. I mean, I don't know. I don't have 22 writers that are like hired and using this. So I think, we've kind of provided the tool, and now like everyone's taking it out in all these unique and interesting ways. And then we just kind of bring them on to train them up on how to do Google My Business posts, and how to, write Pinterest pins, and how to, again, hire virtual assistants to write, high quality copy with Jarvis and all that stuff. So there's a good chance if you're doing it, there's somebody else in our group doing it as well, that you can go learn from, which is cool.
Very cool. And the name of the group?
It's just our Facebook group, Conversion.ai Facebook community here. There you go. Conversion.ai --official community.
There you go. So now people will know where to find it.
Yeah.
Very cool, man.
Go check it out.
Been awesome.
Yeah,
Anything
totally,
else
man.
you want to share with people? Like before I've already kept you past.
No, we're good. Yeah, no, I mean, we'd love to have you in. We've got a great community, and it's so little risk. I think even if you just want to come in and play around with it, do that. I'm guessing you'll be shocked. I'm guessing it will be better than you think. And if it's not, it will be, within a few months, because we're always improving it. And so I really think everyone's going to be using tools like this 2 to 3 years from now. And those that do it now are going to get this huge window of opportunity before, content becomes maybe even more commoditized or, whatever. And so I think the sooner you get in, the more advantage you have.
I'm curious, like we have Fred Gleek here. It's been around for a long time. He's saying he tried it in the voiceover niche and did not work at all. What What do you mean, Fred? It didn't work at all? I'm sure it created content. I'm not sure what.
Yeah. I'm curious about that. Maybe like, hey, maybe selling, voiceover stuff. But yeah, let us know, Fred.
Let's see. But everyone else is raving about it.
That
has
know
used
more.
it.
Yeah. Know more about it.
Yeah, I'd be curious, Fred, because I haven't seen a place where it hasn't really worked. And trying to think if there's any other questions that I have, but I don't think there is. Here, I'll just do this. Hold on. Might as well use our affiliate code for this. So there you go. All right. Where can we find the 5-day free trial? Does that have the pro or starter features? What counts as a word? Let's see.
You'd have to share. Let me see here.
And if worst case.
There you go. So this URL would get you to the free trial. Conversion.ai/free-trial. You don't use the question mark. PR equals rich-23. But again, honestly, y'all, even if you just sign up for the main one and you try it out and you pay for it and you don't like it after 7 days, you can always just message us and we'll give you your money back. So functionally, it's basically the same thing. But yeah, it's basically all a free trial.
Got it. Very cool. And let's see if there's love it for title tags, meta descriptions for large e-commerce websites. Hit me up. I'll see if I can help you. Oh, okay. That was to read.
Read knows it all, man.
Yeah.
This works really well. Yeah, for like SEO stuff. I don't really know how to format, title and meta descriptions for home pages or whatever, but there you go.
There we go. Very cool. Trying to think if there's any other questions here that I've overlooked. Well, I guess you can, but there's no bulk upload, right? Sean McCool wants to know if he could feed Jarvis like a PLR, I guess, of like a big piece of PLR content, and then just
yeah. So basically, what you would do there. Here's creating the title tags here for me.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what you would do there is you just paste it all into the long form assistant, and then you could just go through and let's say this is just some PLR article I bought. That one kind of tweak. I could just kind of take this and just kind of keep rephrasing it or rewriting it, until it's something that's totally different. And we have a lot of people that are doing that with it.
Really interesting. Very cool. And let's see if there's anything else here.
Or you could take, I'm not recommending plagiarism, at all, but it's you could take a high-ranking blog post, or maybe somebody sends out an email that you like, or you see a great sales page. You're like, oh, I really like that. Could I kind of take some pieces of that and make it my own? You could take that and paste it in here and just kind of start again iterating through it until you get kind of your own version that's different than that. But at least you're kind of starting off with something that's already working out there in the market.
Got it. I assume the answer to this question is no, but doesn't hurt to ask. Can it do dialogue?
Oh, write a script?
I guess so. It's just a question.
Let's try it. Write a movie script about Billy, who is a kid that gets bullied. Let's write of I'll do this movie scene. Billy, a bullied kid. So this give you guys a good idea of how the AI works actually as well, showing you how to do dialogue. Okay, suppose a kid gets bullied, yada yada. I can do this. Billy. Why do you always bully me? Bully number 1. So when I run this, it's basically going to look at look at what's written before, try to pick out the pattern, and then write what's most likely to come here. And so here, just in a little bit of dialogue, it kind of already is probably going to be able to predict that there's some more dialogue coming out here. And then it's going to write, more stuff, kind of trying to fill in the gaps. And it gets better and better as you write. So let's say, I didn't want to kind of go into that. Bully number 2, you smell so bad. Billy, not. I don't look or smell. It's about you being a coward. Bully, no one cares. So it's like, just kind of picking up on the pattern and trying to like write more like that. If I took out, that initial content.
Interesting.
Probably do this. Bully number, 3. We don't. Runs away in tears. Billy number whatever. Narrator. Billy just wants someone to help him. There's no one there for him. So here's where you can kind of start to write out, some sort of dialogue. Again, really anything. It's not trained up to do dialogue per se, but it is trained to understand patterns, understand scripts, and understand, really what I'm asking here to help me build that out there.
Wow. Jeez.
So it's incredibly flexible. And that's probably where it varies from like copy tools of the past, which I'd say are good, but are very like, rigid and like programmed to do this one thing. And if you're like, well, can I like do poetry? I can just like write a poem about Billy getting bullied. Do that. And then bullied a poem. Billy gets picked on all the time. He gets called names and shoved to the ground. No one likes him. He doesn't care. One thing that doesn't do great at it's rhyming.
Great at rhyming.
I found it doesn't like understand like what a rhyme is, but it's like it's not trained to write poetry per se, but it can because it's read 10% of the internet, and there's lots of poems in the internet, and there's lots of information about what poems are, and so it can go and do that. So I just say it's just like infinitely flexible, for what you're looking to do, and you can definitely steer it in different ways there.
Very cool. Well, this has been awesome.
Yeah, man. No, hopefully you guys all try it. Would love to have you in. I think it's amazing. As a marketer myself, it's amazing. And it saves so much time. And there's a really good chance that this will save you a lot of time, help you iterate faster, and kind of my goal and hope for you is that you spend less time sitting there looking at a blank page or, less time just putting off the copy or content you need to write, more time actually doing it so you can get results.
And what about creating phrases? Can it create phrases? I don't know what that exactly means. I guess they're talking about like, phrases that sell. Like, have you ever seen that book?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's like they have phrases that sell, and I think there's a few of them. I forget the other titles.
Okay.
But they're for like swipe file books,
Got it. Yeah, again, the answer is probably yes. If we don't have a specific template for it, you might need to get a little creative around kind of how you set that up. Again, maybe it's kind of, use our value prop, or here's like a cool one, like features to benefits. You kind of type in, features about a product, and they'll tell you a bunch of different benefits here. This is actually a cool one for like hair extensions. Hair extensions. Let's do that. Here, I've kind of trained it to do like standard benefits. You can get the length you've always wanted. Your hair will look fuller and more voluminous. Yeah. But then it's like the emotional benefits is like feel like a princess with long, beautiful locks of hair. Be able to style your hair any way you want without worrying about damaging or getting split ends. Emotional benefit, standard benefit, they're easy to put in and take out. Emotional, feel more confident with a fuller head of hair, look like a celebrity or supermodel every day. So that's a cool one too, where it's like, again, people that don't know this or try this say AI can't write emotional copy. I would say it can.
Yeah.
And I would say that this is definitely hitting at the heart of someone to feel like a princess. Like maybe I'm not a woman. I don't know. I would feel like every woman's dream as a girl, was to look like a princess with long, beautiful locks of hair, and if that can tap into that, you'll probably sell more hair extensions. So I'd say it's pretty dang good at going past the surface and going into the deeper heart of things.
Yeah, I would agree. And Daniel is here with us, actually.
Danny Vega, there it is, man. This guy knows where it's at. And if you join our Facebook group, Danny's going to show you all sorts of cool ways he's using it.
Yeah. And this is probably this person's not really truly getting it. Do you get these templates like the ones you've trained it to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
When you log in, you're going to get all these exact templates, inside of your account. These are kind of the ones that we've pre-formatted. Here's a cool one, engaging questions. I was doing one where somebody's group was helping women overcome miscarriages. And she was trying to engage her Facebook group, with empathetic questions to help kind of stir things up. So we created one that just, hey, create some great, interesting questions to go post on Facebook or post on social media or whatever, and generate some responses there. So we've basically templatized a ton of these different things, but you've also got the ability to go into the long form assistant and be more flexible and use it in a different way.
Right. And, you could take those questions, the most engaging questions, or a few of them, and then put them in to the content expansion and have it actually start writing in the long form, the answers to those questions, which, is kind of more in line with what Sean does.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, you'll get everything in my account you're seeing right here. You'll get in your account as well. It's already kind of pre-trained.
And can you explain the credit system?
Yeah, so we've got kind of two plans. Our $29 plan comes with 20,000 credits a month. One credit is one word that we produce for you. And so, here, this is what, seven words, in this highlighted section here. So that'd be 7 credits. And this whole thing is maybe, I don't know, 50 words. Or 100 words or whatever. So that'd be 100 credits that you would use. So basically we'll generate 20,000 words a month for you at that base plan. But then our $109 plan is unlimited. And so now we're not counting credits anymore. You can generate, Danny in here, I think generates 1 million words a month on that one
22
plan.
writers.
Yeah, totally. So, you can generate unlimited starting at 109. And then there's just a cost per user, as you add more seats. That's $25 a month there. That's how the credit system works.
Got it. Very cool. Well,
I'll
this has
show
been great.
I'll show you one more that's kind of cool.
Okay, cool.
People like this one. Well, I kind of like it. Review responder. So, if you've got, reviews on Yelp, reviews on G2 Crowd or kind of wherever, people leave a review, this thing will help you respond to all of them. So let's say, whatever, Proof, your name's Jessica. So she left me a 5-star. I want my response to be, friendly. I could paste in her, customer review, whatever. It'd be hard to make up here. I love Proof so much. My only complaint is the pricing is a bit too high. Overall, it's been a lifesaver for me. It's going to generate responses I can just kind of copy and paste into there because, we've seen we get more traction and, even rank better, when we've got reviews that are responded to. But nobody wants to go in there and do that. Thank you for your review, Jessica. We're so happy to hear that Proof has been a lifesaver for you. I'm sorry to hear about your only complaint that our pricing is too high. We want to make sure we offer the best value possible and are always looking at ways to improve how we calculate price points. Look at that. That's amazing. It definitely takes into account what they say. You could use this to maybe respond to blog posts, comments, or respond to even social comments maybe. Thank you for taking time to leave a review, Jessica. We're happy that Proof's been able to save your business from errors, and we're sorry to hear pricing is in line with what you need. We're currently working on lowering our pricing tiers and helps us make it more affordable for everyone, including you. So just another cool template that if that fits your use case, you're going to love this.
I dig it. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Any other questions I can answer before I hop off here?
No, I think that's it. I think you've pretty much covered it all. I mean, I think the rest are just more curiosity type questions, which I don't think we have to waste your time on. You know, whether it can tell jokes or stuff like that. So I would say we're good to go. Yeah. I think you've given people a good perspective of everything that it can do. And then some.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much for having me on. Happy to answer, any of the questions, or again, hop in the Facebook group and we'll answer questions there. And yeah, man, thanks for having me on.
My pleasure, man. Thank you for sharing. And I hope to talk to you again real soon.
Yeah, man. Sounds good. We'll see you. See you, everybody.
All right. Adios. Cool, guys. So that's it, right? Yeah, I'm sure you can upgrade your account at any time. If you can, use our affiliate link. But I strongly suggest that each and every one of you at least check it out. This is the future. And, whether it's Conversation.ai or it's any of the other tools out there, if you currently write, I see like two primary people here that should really jump on this. One, if you already spend a bunch of time writing, then you should see how something like this could help you in a dramatic way. And if you don't currently write a lot for your business, but the reason why is that it takes you so long and you just want to avoid it, then this can really help. If neither one of those applies to you, like right now, there's not a big need for writing, nor even if you could write more, you wouldn't be, then you probably should pass on this. This isn't, something that is an absolute must, but it is a nice to have if your business relies on writing of any significance or consequence. So with that said, that's why I wanted to ask Dave on here. And I also just wanted to share with you this powerful new tool that has a lot of people talking about it. And definitely Sean Vossler has created some great stuff for it. Maybe we'll do a follow-up live stream at some point where after I've gotten a little bit more familiar with it and I'm actually using it more, Sean and I can kind of compare strategies on that. That would be kind of fun. And for all of you watching, no matter where you are, if you're on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn or Periscope or whatnot, thanks for being here. Thanks for participating. Thanks for asking questions. And thanks for hanging out with me this day after Memorial Day as it continues to pour in what is usually sunny Florida, but is today not. And I will see everyone on Thursday at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Until then, wait, we already know what we're talking about, don't we? What are we talking about on Thursday? Do you remember? Yeah. Oh, well, stay tuned. And we will be posting earlier. And you might have noticed that we posted earlier today. We're going to be posting earlier in the day as far as getting the message out, letting you guys know or reminding you that it's live stream day. So the next one will be on Thursday from 6 to 8. Then actually, and we'll have to orchestrate it, but I think I will be, well, I don't know that I'm going to be doing next Tuesday's live stream because I will be in Cleveland, but maybe we can broadcast because I think I'll be speaking around 8 o'clock, but we will look into what we can do as far as broadcasting my presentation. If not, then we'll just either have someone fill in for me or postpone, but you'll see it on Tuesday. We'll let you guys know. And until Thursday, I'll have more details for you on Thursday about all this. To Higher Profits and Beyond, Rich Sheffrin, over and out.